Hi, I'm John Pullman, professional boxing trainer, owner of Pullman's Gym in Northridge, California, and this is Pullmanomics. The ancient Chinese war general and military strategist Sun Tzu has a great quote: "Invincibility lies in the defense, the opportunity for victory lies in the attack." When talking about boxing, that makes perfect sense to me. Why not try to be as invincible as possible before you go try to win a fight and put yourself in danger? All great fighters have really good defense, in my opinion. There's a long list of names. The list goes on and on. And when talking about defense, a really big part of it is head movement. There's two really basic, fundamental moves regarding head movement, and those are called slips and rolls. That's how I describe them. Today we're going to be going over them in great detail, the basic versions of them. So stick around and let's get to it. Although these moves are characterized as head movement, they really are full body movements if you think about it, because your waist is going to be involved, you're going to bend your legs, your shoulders as well. It's all going to result in, hopefully, a good head movement. So right here, we're going to talk about slips a little bit. So Terrell's going to get in his boxing stance. He got a good solid stance here. And the first slip we're going to go over is his slipping to his right for a right-hander. Sometimes it's called an outside slip. You're going away from everything, right? So for a right-hander, when Terrell wants to slip to his right, he's going to bend his back leg a little more, and his left shoulder is going to dip forward, and he's going to sit his butt down a little bit. So ideally, the punch is going to go over his front shoulder, right? So he slips a shot, he drops, boom, and his shoulder, yep, he drops, boom, good. He got his hands in a good position. He got his legs really solid. He's in a good stance, so the punch comes at him. So if he turns to me a little bit, so the way it would work ideally is if I throw a punch at him, bang, he makes me hit the air. Bang, beautiful. Again, bang, good. So that's like a basic slip to his right for a right-hander, or sometimes called as an outside slip. Also, when talking about the slips, a nuanced little trick that you can use is adding a little bit of footwork into it. It adds another layer and could give you a better angle to do various things with. So Terrell now is going to keep slipping to his right. Typically, a right-hander and a right-hander, this is slipping a jab, right? So he's going to slip to his right, right? He go ahead and do it again. And look at this little step he's taking with his right foot and then come back. See that little mini step? He's just using his right foot. His left foot staying in the spot, right? So he can slip without stepping. Go ahead. That's what we just did. Feet didn't step at all. He's still in good position. Now he's going to take a little step. What that does is it opens him up for a counter punch. It gives him a little better leverage. It also creates more room. So he makes a bigger move. So if the guy, it covers more ground, better chance of making the punch miss as well. But typically it's good to set up a good counter right hand if you wanted to. But also too, slipping to your, just because he's slipping to, go ahead, face me, Terrell. Just because he's slipping this way to his right, right? Typically, right-hander for right-hander, that's slipping a jab, right? Bang, he's taking a little step. You could also slip a right hand that way. Bang. I mean, it's not ideal, it's not perfectly what you want to do, but it's better to move than not move, right? So he slips, bang, he's slipping to his right, he's taking that little step. Bang, can slip either punch. Bang, good. Make the step a little more to the right, Terrell. Bang, right there. Bang, then he brings it back into a good stance. So that's another little trick when using the slip. Another way to use this slip is to combine it with footwork and moving with both your feet, not just one foot, so you're not staying in place. So, for example, if Terrell wants to slip to his right and he wants to use his basic footwork in conjunction with it, look what he does. He steps with his right foot at the same time as he slips. The right and the slip go together, and the left foot just continues. Again, he steps, and the left foot just continues. Really simple. Again, good. So he's just moving both his feet with the slip. So if we're boxing each other and he faces me, and he wants to slip, bang, he's taking both his feet over, and then he keeps stepping in his boxing stance, then he goes again. Bang, good. So now he's combining basic footwork with basic head movement. Bang, good. It's really simple. You just take your time, bang, and he's practicing. See? So he always gets back to his good stance. Bang, right? So that's adding some basic footwork in with your basic head movement as well. Now we're going to talk about slipping to your left. So when talking about that for a right-hander, it looks like so. Terrell's gonna turn his back foot and his right shoulder, almost like he's throwing a right hand, but he's not. So he's pretty much just throwing his shoulder. He turns his right foot just like he's throwing a right hand. He's bending at the waist a little bit, his knees are bent, so that ideally the punch goes right over his shoulder, right? Then he comes back, then he does it again, slips. This is just a basic version of it. So he's not moving his feet at all. He's just staying right in a solid place, and he's making a punch miss. So he faces me. Ideally, this slip into your left as a right-hander, it's also called the inside slip. Some people use that terminology. If I were to throw a straight right hand at him, typically he could slip it that way. Boom, so my punch goes right over his shoulder. He holds his position, good. It also puts him in good position to counter, but he's not even moving his feet. He's staying in his place, good. And he can slip the jab that way too. Bang, right? People do that too. Bang, right? The right hand, bang. So these slips can interchange for different punches. But ideally, I mean, in a really perfect scenario, if I throw a straight right hand, boom, he gets right over there. He got all this for counter punches if he wants it, right? So that's the basic slip to your left. Another little trick, as we talked about on the right side, is adding a little bit of footwork in with the slip. So Terrell is basically going to just use his front leg for this. He's going to take a little step to the left while he slips. So everything else is the same. He's still turning his right foot, his waist is bending, his shoulders, everything's in good position, right? He's just making a little mini step. Bop, just creates, yep, boom. Just creates maybe a better punching angle for him. Also, it covers a little more distance. Boom, slips to the inside, boom, right? Same time he steps, slip, bang, right, good. So he faced me, it looks just like this. The same thing, he's just taking a little step. It might be create a better punching angle for him. Bang, right. Also, more room for error if you make a bigger move sometimes. Good. Bang, keeps his balance good too. He turns his right foot, bang, right there. So that's with a little step slipping to your left. Another way of slipping to the left is using both your feet when you step. So it's going to combine basic footwork and basic slips together. So Terrell, what he's going to do is he's going to step with his left foot just like he did, slip, and then his back foot comes along for the right. So he's getting out of the way with both his feet as well. Step, boom, right? So if he faces me and he slips my punch, he step, boom, and then he's right back in his boxing stance, angled wherever his opponent would be, right? So he steps, boom, good, right back in his boxing stance. Step, boom, just combining a little basic footwork and slips. Step, boom, good, he's working his way around. Bang, boom, right? One more, bang, boom. There you go, that's basic footwork and a basic slip to your left. Okay, now we're gonna talk about the rolls. So the slips are good for dodging straight punches, right? You're getting to the side of straight punches. The rolls are good for getting under wide punches like hooks. So Terrell, we're first gonna go rolling to the left. So as a right-hander, it's be like rolling under like a wide looping right hand, right? Right-hander for right-hander, yep. So he's just gonna come back to his spot, right? He's not gonna step, he's gonna stay right here, feet in his, boom, just a simple roll. What he does when he rolls is he bends his knees, goes straight down and makes a mini U to the direction he wants to go, in this case, the left, right? Just one roll, boom, and then come back to normal. That's it. One roll, boom, come back to normal. Good, so when you roll, he's on the ball of his back foot as he rolls. The weight transfers a little bit to the front foot, but then when he's done, he gets back to his regular stance, which is a little more weight on the back foot. So if he faces me, it kind of looks like this. I throw a wide punch at him, he gets under it. Boom, that's ideal. He gets under the punch. Boom, good, that's a nice roll. A little weight towards the front, but then he gets it back. So that's the basic roll to the left. So now we're going to talk about the rolling to his left with using his feet as well, right? With using your feet as well. So he's going to make the same mini U with his body, straight down and a little over, but he's going to take his feet with him. Watch him. So he steps with the left foot, and then the right foot comes right there with him. I'll do it again. Good, and then come on back over here, Terrell. Good. So now he's going to do it again just for the look. He steps with the left foot. He takes him out of his stance, but then he gets right back in his stance. So it's just like the basic footwork. If he faces me, he's going to face me. He's going to roll under my punch, and he makes sure he gets his body back in order to wherever his opponent is. He gets under the punch. Good for a wide punch. Even if I throw a straight punch, he can roll under that as well. But it's typically a wide punch. Boom, good. So he's rolling and stepping with his feet as well. So he's always in a good stance. So in boxing, you know, as you might have noticed, everything that we do on one side, we want to be able to do on the other side. So now we're going to talk about rolling to the right. It may seem tedious because we're going over the simple moves in so many different little ways, but it's very important to master these moves because you'll be happy if you practice your defense a lot. You'll be grateful later on when you do get in a boxing match. So now we're going to talk about rolling to the right. So right now Terrell is just going to roll to his right without moving first, just so you see that, right? Boom. So it's a little mini U to the right. His weight goes down, straight down. Boom. See, he shifts forward a little bit too. That's okay. Then he goes down and a little bit to the left. Down, boom. Good. So if he faces me, it's good to get under a left hook, right, as a right-hander. So I shoot a left hook at Terrell. Boom, he gets right under it. He goes down and a little bit over. Bang, his feet aren't moving, which is fine. Boom, good. Boom, good. Under the shot, good. So that's a basic roll to his right. Now we're going to add the footwork in with the roll to his right. So Terrell's going to roll to his right, and he's going to bring both his feet with him. So he's going to step to his right with his right foot while he rolls, and his left foot comes right back into a good stance. Good. Go back to where you started. So he starts in a real good stance, good weight. He drops down straight, makes a mini U, and gets his feet in perfect position. Step, step, right? Back foot, front foot. Good. Important thing to remember, too, while you're doing these, is look at Terrell's knees. As he steps and rolls, he comes up, his legs are still bent. A common mistake people make is they lock out their legs straight after the roll. You want to make sure when you do roll and come up, you're right back into a good stance, just like Terrell. So he goes under the shot with me, he steps, bang, and then he's back in his stance. He's stepping in good basic footwork, right? Then he rolls, bang, he's in good basic footwork, always. Then he rolls, bang, good. Bang, so that's the way you want to practice it right there. So basically now we're going to talk about some drills that will work good for the things we've been learning today. This drill here is great for the roll. And what you see here is we just tied a hand wrap from one ring post to the other. If you're at home, you don't have a ring, don't worry. You can get creative with this. If you have a hand wrap, you can do it with chairs, tie it to the tree. If you have a piece of string, whatever. You just got to get a little creative, and you want to try to find something that, if you get in a boxing stance, it's right about your neck height. That's a good height. So you can use this to roll underneath. If you watch Terrell, he's starting on one side. He's going to roll to his right. It's good to step. Watch how he steps. See, he brings his feet. He's just practicing. Now he goes the other way, right? So he's working on his steps and his rolls together, right? And if he wants to creep forward, that's good too. But if you're rolling to the right, step with your right foot first. If you're rolling to the left, step with your left foot first. But he's taking little steps and he's staying in his stance. It's great to practice getting under something. If he wants to go back, he's going to do the same way. But no matter what way he's rolling, so he rolls to his right, his left foot goes to the left, his right foot goes to the right. Left foot to the left, right foot to the right. So he's putting his shoulder on the rope. Boom. Boom. Back forward. And you could use this going to the side too, because he can just get in his boxing stance, like right here. Come in your boxing stance right here, Terrell. Right, so he could just be in his boxing stance, move to the rope, bang, step all the way around the rope. Go ahead, Terrell. So he goes to the rope, he steps under, bang, turns and faces the rope the other way in a boxing stance, right. Then he gets back to it, and so he's practicing going to the side as well. You could use it going forward, you could use it going back, you could use it going to the side. So when you're doing this drill, the rope drill, set a 3-minute timer like a boxing round. And you can do going forward, just stepping forward all the way to one end, wherever your end is. Practicing good fundamentals, all the good stance, the good basic footwork, hands in good position. Then he goes back, good. Then you might get on the side of it, boom, move around just in your stance, and bring yourself to the rope, and you get under it. Bang, then you move around a little bit. So there's some break there, but just set a timer, 3 minutes, and practice. No punching, no nothing, just good basic rolling under the rope. Good fundamentals. One of my favorite drills when working with my fighters is one of the simplest drills I can think of. Honestly, all you need is a piece of paper, put some tape on it, and you're going to stick it on the mirror. I learned this drill from Willie Birdlegs Jensen. Was a great professional fighter, world champion. We call him Bird out here in Los Angeles. And one time I seen him using this drill on some of his fighters, and it's a fantastic drill. So what you do with the paper is you have your fighter get in his boxing stance in the mirror, and you're going to place the paper on the mirror so right where about his face is while he's in his stance, right? He's in a good boxing stance, and this should be blocking his face. Basically what he's gonna do from here is he's gonna practice his slips and his rolls. So his objective is to move his face off the paper so he can see it. Boom, he slips that way. Boom, he slips the other way. So right now he's practicing his slips without stepping. Boom, boom, shorten up your stance just a little bit. Now he's gonna take one little step. Boom, brings it back the other way. Boom, brings it back again. So now he can do whatever he wants. He can step with both feet. Step with both feet, good. Step with both feet. Then he can use his rolls. Boom, boom, good. He could get creative here. Take the moves you learn. 2 rolls, slip and then roll. Good, slip and then roll, good. Stepping with your slips, stepping with your rolls, forward, backward, side to side, whatever you want. Set a timer for 3 minutes and you just work. 3 minutes with just practicing your slips and rolls in the mirror like this. You can get a good look at yourself and really practice all those basic fundamentals. Good stance, good balance. Your feet are always in good position. It's a great drill. We use this a lot here at our gym. A question that commonly comes up when you're talking about head movement, slips and rolls is where do you keep your hands, right? As you've been watching us, Terrell's been keeping his hands kind of like in this area, and lined up with his shoulders, slightly below his chin, or slightly around his chin, right, in a normal position. And when he slips, he'll slip, see his hands kind of staying, freeze for me, Terrell. He slips, see his hands are staying kind of lined up with his shoulders. That's good punching position, right? The upsides to that are your hands are in a useful position. They're not all the way down, they're not all the way up, they're in a good useful position so you can strike from there. And it also keeps a good space so where the punch can miss, right? Because that's ideally what you want. You want the punch to miss. So good things are you make the punch miss, hit the air, and your hands are in a useful position. Another option, right, common option, is guys will sometimes hold their hands all the way up on their temples when they slip and roll. So he's gonna slip with his hands on his temples. Boom. That's cool too. That's a good move too. The good thing to that is it offers double protection. So if your slip's a little off, right, he slips a shot and it's off, I might hit his hand for extra protection, right? It's kind of like a double defense there, which is good too. The downside to that though is he might slip and I might hit his hand when he wanted me to hit the air, right? So they both can be used. It's very important in boxing to learn as much different ways as you possibly can, because there's always a time and place for everything. Like I see like guys like Lomachenko use the hands up when he's slipping and rolling early on in a fight because the guy might have really good timing, or you don't quite have his timing and he's really strong and fast, so you want to have double protection. As you catch the guy's timing, then maybe you bring your hands down a little lower and think about striking and countering off the slips and rolls more. So either way is really good. There's pros and cons to everything, and I say practice both ways. So when you're doing your drills, sometimes practice keeping your hands all the way up, sometimes keeping your hands a little bit more lined up with your shoulders. So have fun with that. Bang, right, bang, right, bang, under, bang, good, slip, bang.